Hey guys, this is Gamer Nation, just giving you a quick Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile of my first place Ritual Fairy deck, taking on Spirals, Zodiacs, ABCs, Blue Eyes, and Barrier Statue Stun. So let's just get started. So the first three that you're going to see are the monsters are Herald of Perfection. It's one of your win conditions, I guess, because all he does is so long as you have fairies to discard, he'll just keep negating whatever your opponent plays. And a solid 2800 defense, so it makes him hard to get over. Next up is essentially your single monster engine, which is 3 copies of Cyber Angel Benten. So whenever she's tributed, including for a ritual summon, she'll net you a search. If you use it for Herald, Herald's own ritual spell will return her back to your hand, so you don't go neg playing into a ritual. And the last ritual monster is a single copy of Saphira. So when she's ritual summoned, or a light monster is sent from my hand to the graveyard, she gets one of 3 effects. Draw 2, get rid of 1, get rid of 1 from your opponent's hand, or return a light from the graveyard. Is really good because you can actually combo with Herald, you can negate, and then you get an effect during the end phase, so you can get your fairies back or mill through your deck if you need to. Next card is 3 copies of Manju, just because it searches ritual spells and ritual monsters, so you always have your pieces. The next is a combo piece, which are 3 scepters, Star Seraph scepters, and 3 Star Seraph's sovereignty. So the way the stick and chair combo works is so long as you have a stick and a chair in hand, you're going to end the field with at least 3 level 4 fairies to work with, which net gets you your rank 4 plays, your big ones. And anytime you do that, stick will let you pop a card and let you draw, and then you get other better effects to go on top of that. Going up next is 2 copies of Honest. You want to run the max of Honest if given the option, because it is searchable and recyclable with this deck. So with your biggest monster only being 2500, having Honest to just run over anything is always good. The last monster in here is 1 copy of the Barrier Statue of the Heavens. I run just 1 because I can search it when I need to, and I can summon it out of my deck when I need to with one of the spell cards, which I'll show you coming up next. But that is the monster lineup. The next up is the spells. So 3 Dawn of the Heralds, which is self-explanatory. Use it with Benten, banish Dawn of the Herald, get Benten back to your hand. And next is 2 Hymn of Lights. I run 1 Saphir, but 2 Hymn of Lights for one very simple reason. Hymn of Light in the graveyard has the same effect as Return of the Dragonlords, where it will protect ritual monsters from destruction for a single instance. So if they try to Raigeki or Dark Hole me, I don't have to waste a Herald's negate. I can just defend them altogether just by banishing him. Next up is 3 copies of Terraforming. Let me get these. Which will get you straight into the 3 copies of Ritual Sanctuary. So what Sanctuary does is discard a spell card, search a ritual monster or spell. Its second effect, however, return spell cards equal to the level of one of the fairies in your graveyard back to your deck to special summon that fairy. So being that all the normal summon monsters are level 4, I can return 4 spells, bring back my heralds, well, not my herald, sorry, my barrier statue, my manjus, whatever I need. Next up is 3 pre-preps, just because it thins out the deck, gets me my combo pieces, and 1 preparation of right, because why wouldn't you use it? Now, as for the card that will actually bring out my barrier statue, is 3 copies of Ties of the Brethren. What you want to do is establish a board with at least 1 normal summon, so it's usually going to be Manju, or a stick if you have the chance, but it's normally Manju. You'll play Manju at the end of your combo, then play your Ties of the Brethren, searches out and special summons Barrier Statue of the Heavens and Honest. Honest effect then puts them back into your hand, and you'll summon Barrier Statue in attack mode, so when they do try to attack, they run into an Honest. So it's guaranteed at least 1 to 2 turns of being in play. If you have Saphira on top of that, you can recycle the same Honest you just sent to always keep Barrier Statue safe. Next up is just generic spells. It's 2 Twin Twisters for back row removal, and 1 copy of Raigeki for monster removal. After that, you're going to go into the extra deck. It's, pretty generic rank 4s, a few rank higher because it's easy to do. One Cowboy, because he can push for games, late games, and I still have generic level 4s to work with, Monjus and Honest if I have to. This card gets a bad rep just because of what he is, but he is actually pretty good, is Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon. Really good for those decks like Blue Eyes that play really big monsters and you just want to run over. Carrying Gorgon is another one. Playing him in a defensive play pretty much says your opponent can't really MSC or Twin Twister you without redirecting the target to whatever you want it to be. One Castel for spot removal. One copy of Abyss Dweller just to stun my opponent's graveyard for a bit. One Giant Hand. It's a free Fiendish Chain at 2 grand, so why not? One Honor Arc to get rid of any problem monsters. And then a interesting lineup here of the next level 4s, rank 4s. Copy of Utopia, Utopia Prime, Utopia Ray, and then Utopia the Lightning. German. Gotta go with that one. Utopia Ray actually did come up in the tournament where I actually had the conditions and used Utopia to win. Utopia Prime gets good use out of here because it requires 3 level 4 lights, which is what this deck brings out, and I go plus off of it. I don't really use its effect, but if I need to go into him, it's always good because I can go him to him and then into Lightning. Now, the next one, and this one actually does probably the most work in the deck, is Stellar Knight Deltaros. So the way this happens is I'll play Stick and Chair combo. Stick gets me a free pop and a draw, and then his own effect gets me a free pop. So I essentially, for summoning him, I'll get to remove 2 cards off my opponent's field. Going off of that, I have one of 2 cards I can go into. Stellar Knight Constellar Diamond, which in this format there's a lot of lawn mowing decks. So this says your opponent can't mill, so Light Sworns, Infernoids, and any of those variants, their engine shuts down. And not to mention it's good against Dark. It has another effect where if they try to activate Dark effect, detach and negate and destroy. And then there's a copy of Ptolemy M7. Now I can either go over Deltaros with this or actually use my ritual monsters to go into further plays. It's good for disruption. And then the last Exceed I play is Ouroboros. The best opening hand you can probably pull out is a field of Herald, Saphira, and Ouroboros on opening turn. If you get that, your opponent goes -2 before their turn even starts. Now going off that is just my side deck that I used. One Vanities, because this is a go first deck. So if I need to go first and set up my board, it's fine. If they're doing more special something than I'd like them to, I can always put in the Vanities, but it's not really needed for the main deck. Because there's still DD players running around, if Heavens isn't enough, Consecrated Light shuts down their deck completely. They won't really be able to run it over unless they use Raigeki or Dark Hole. This format is actually really nasty with activated effects, so Ghost Ogre does a good job getting rid of cards like Drancia or Union Hanger when it tries to activate an effect. It just lets you clear problems. Next up is 3 copies of Winter Cherries. This is really good because the side deck and extra deck can be pretty flexible, and I'll get to you what the targets are in just a moment, just because it does mess up a lot of plays. A lot of people for the next card would prefer Kaijus. I prefer Santa Claus, honestly, because of a few reasons. It's works like a Kaiju, but it's a light, so it gets around my own barrier statue. It's a light in itself, so it will trigger Saphir if I have to use it for a discard for anything. And it's level 6, which Herald needs exact levels to summon. So if he's stuck in my hand, I can use him straight for a ritual summon. And then for the next 3 cards is my Cherries target. 1 copy Bahamut Shark. It's for those heroes and mermaid players who want to go into Shark then Toad. This just breaks their combo. 1 copy of Mithrilium for any remaining Metalfoes player. This stops them from really extending their plays too much further, so they actually lose a lot of speed. The last card I'm actually waiting to get, it's Digusto Emerald. The reason Emerald's in there over anything else, it actually hurts Zodiacs the most. If you banish their Tiger Mortar, Broad Bull, or Drancia, they can still get a win on you. You get rid of their Emerald, though, which most decks run 1 to 2. It actually prevents them from extending their play to a really massive board, and it actually makes them play a little bit more defensively, which goes in your favor. So let me know what you guys think and leave your responses in the comments below. Talk to you guys later.